the VFL Elimination Final in replay from...
Flies from behind. Kelly scoops the ball out. Starcevic dispossessed pretty quickly. Good knock on by Grinter. Takes the tap on himself. Grinter inside defensive 50. He goes for the pass. Turner unable to mark. Should be able to pick it up. Steins infringes. Play on, says the umpire. Steins again trying to sink the slipper in.
There was an ideal opportunity there for Jim Steins to run right through Jamie Turner. That's what you've got to do early in a final game. Just upset the opposition. Lay down was there for Steins. He'd let him off.
Bounce on centre wing. Tap out comes to White. Centering kick. Tony Shaw likewise doing well so far in the opening term. Short pass by the skipper. Starcevic marks on the boundary line, a long way from goal. Craig Starcevic, West Australian. Big pack of players. Kelly, almost a mark. He's paid the mark.
Yes, I thought a good mark there by Kelly. At least controlled it, although he really didn't control it down to ground. But he was in front position, got up very high for that mark, and just spilled out of his arms as he hit the ground.
So first goal, the opportunity for Craig Kelly to bring up the first major into the breeze.
Craig Kelly is normally a pretty good kick. And Blake gets right over the ball. Kicks a goal. It's a good-looking kick from Kelly. Straight through.
Well, he has had an indifferent season this year, Craig Kelly. He started off in a forward pocket and they had a two-pronged attack whilst he and Taylor were playing early on. But then he lost form. He's come back up through the reserves, but that was a good leap there. You can see they're head and shoulders above the other players. And that would be a great confidence lifter for Kelly.
First score of the match, a goal to Kelly. Back to the centre. Monkhorst again gets the tap. Greg Healy is there. And also Brett Lovett. Oh, they've lost at Melbourne to Jamie Turner. No, it's a free kick in the meantime, and it will come back to Newport.
Shaw down on the wing.
Tony Shaw is hurt. That'll be interesting as Newport towards half forward. Todd Viney does the wrestling. Oh, some good strong work. This allows your young Luke Beveridge from 40 metres to fire a goal. He hooks it across his body and puts it out of bounds on the full.
Well, Beveridge had Steins by himself, 20 metres away. I know he was on his wrong foot, Beveridge, normally a left footer, but he could have passed it over.
Bonnie McEwen in that back pocket. Some strange moves today. Gaffer is up on the forward line, which no one would have expected, I wouldn't think. There's Joe Dwyer with a big punch. Jamie Turner, quick hand pass, lands with Tranter, and the youngster goes wide and puts it out of bounds on the full.
Free kick going Melbourne's way to be taken from Stephen Stretch. Stretch on the centre wing position. Melbourne with the breeze. Not able to make too much use of it at the moment. Steins mark in front, or has he played a free kick to Collingwood? He has. The recipient will be Morwood. Morwood at the defensive 50-metre mark. Shoots it back whence it came. The high flyer at the back was Brown. Rhys-Alakis on right centre wing for the Magpies. He's well shepherded too. He can go another couple of bounces if he wants to. Draws a man short. Got the hand pass away to Robertson, which wasn't a good one. And often those runs down a boundary line can come unstuck. You forwards just don't know when you're going to kick it. Robertson, strength to Dacos. Can he get clear? Gets short-fronted. He's kicked the goal anyway. 4 points. At 12 points, now in bright sunshine. The wind continues. I think we'll get through the day without any major rain, certainly. Rod Grinter to bring the ball back pretty well straight up the ground.
Good kick by Grinter. He was looking for Phoebe, a very talented player. Hand passes to Spalding, straight down the centre. That's the way to play VFL Park. They need a couple of goals and they need them quickly. Here's Greg Healy. That's Melbourne I'm talking about, of course. Bennett, not sure what to do with it. He's gone for a little chip pass. He's found a man there in Wilson. Now, Wilson is at the 50-metre line. He's going short. Good play by Wilson, because this man, Greg Healy, will kick from directly in front from the 50-metre line. He's had a great last 6 weeks of the season, Healy. He's been in top form. From right on the 50-metre line. Oh, not a good-looking kick. It's a low trajectory. One right in front of goal. A chance for Melbourne. Charging in after it is Campbell. Back to Steins. Jim Steins picks it up, hooks it across his body, and puts it out of bounds on the full. So the Collingwood penalty kick down there to Michael Christian. There he is, centre half back today. been a top player for Collingwood since coming across from the west. Christian towards the half-back line. Monkhorst has it punched away by Phoebe. Phoebe in after it again. He's lost it to Monkhorst. Over to Arisa Larkis. On to Tony Shaw. And the umpire said that was a throw. That was a little bit stiff. But it's a free kick nevertheless to Phoebe.
Stephen Phoebe on the left centre wing for Melbourne. As Peter mentioned, the Demons badly needing a goal. They're not going to get one with this forward move because the mark has been taken by Jamie Turner. Short pass. Kerrison marking in front of Beveridge. Kerrison just up from the back pocket. Collingwood first to the ball so far in the opening term. O'Dwyer in front. Has it knocked away. Now this is Tranter. A short pass to Risa Larkis. Two of the rookies of the Magpie combination this afternoon. Newport at the back, a good spoil. Dacos, brilliant. Shaw and Tony Shaw, best man on the ground so far. And the mark has been taken by Gavin Krasiska at half forward. Plenty of options down there. Starcevic and Kelly. 2-on-1 in favour of the Magpies. Starcevic takes it from Kelly. Only one behind. Reserved better, especially after that move by Dacos. 2-2 to 1 behind at VFL Park.
James Manson and young Mark Perkins, a few of the Collingwood players there that aren't playing today. Bad luck that Manson is not available. He's a vital player for Collingwood. There's O'Dwyer trying to tap it on. It's tapped further afield for Melbourne, this time to Spalding. Spalding to Steins. And that'll be a great contest. Steins versus Christian. Now, Steins over to Phoebe, who's doing well. Phoebe, poor kick. The half forward. Wilson was there for Melbourne. Good play, Wilson. Over to Beveridge. Here's a chance for the Demons. Beveridge straightens up, again hooks it. A brilliant mark to Campbell. What a top mark, one-handed. And he'll be on the boundary line, but if he runs out to the right, Don, he'll be able to open up the goals.
I think you summed it up beautifully, Peter. That was a brilliant mark by Campbell. I thought he was just sticking his hand up to retard the ball, but it actually stuck there.
Let's see, yes, he runs out, opens up the goals, hooks it right across and out of bounds on the full. So a bad miss by Tony Campbell.
He actually, Peter, could have gone back further on the man on the mark, taken 2 or 3 steps to the side. McEwen would have taken all day to get to him, and he could have had a deliberate shot for goal. That was his snap.
Well, here's Dennis Banks after that kick out of bounds on the full by Campbell, and they're making heavy weather of it, Melbourne, with the breeze. Collingwood at top display so far. Over the back is Krasiska, tackled by Sean White. Play on, the umpire calls. Now he will come in, the umpire, and bounce it.
2 Melbourne shots out of bounds on the full. We saw that one by Campbell. Earlier it was by Jim Steins. Bounce just on Melbourne's attacking side of centre. A chance for the Demons now. Beveridge takes the hand pass from Lovett. Campbell at the back this time. Now, Ronnie McEwen had words to him after he missed that shot. Be interesting to see if Campbell has the last laugh after he takes this shot at goal.
Actually, that is another good mark because McEwen's a strong player.
He's got the goal. Melbourne's first.
So there was Viney trying to crash his way through. Tony Shaw having a good quarter. Back to Gavin Brown. Couldn't judge it too well. Dacos is looking in. A great touch today as he goes wide to Graham Wright. Right onto the left. Setting it up for Starcevic, who should mark here, and he does. 50 metres out from goal. Krasiska goes back, and also Kelly. The kick is to Kelly.
You wonder why he leads into the pocket though, Peter, wouldn't you?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's a good kick for goal. He plays on, good thinking by Kelly, but he has only succeeded in hooking it out of bounds on the full. Now, it was good thinking. There's Alan Swab on screen, and it was eventually a poor kick by Kelly because he caught his Melbourne opponent unawares. He opened up the goals and then succeeded in hooking it out of bounds. This is Brett Lovett. Got the job today on Gavin Brown. Towards the half-back line, Steins. Cleverly over the top to Dersma. Dersma on the left foot to centre wing. Now, let's see who's there. It's Kerrison for Collingwood. Over to Gayfer. Gayfer to Christian. They're backing up well in defence, Collingwood. Clever play, Michael Christian. Back it comes to Gayfer. Gayfer to half forward. It should be a Melbourne mark. It is to Alan Johnson.
Back into the side last week after injury. Johnson, good to see him in the Melbourne lineup today. One of the veterans, Tony Campbell, can he make it 2 goals? He might get an assist in it, certainly. Biney, if he can pick it up. Shepherd by Bennett was ineffective. The shot at goal is likewise, it's through for one behind.
It's coming back, Pete. The free kick, I think, to Campbell.
And actually, Campbell now playing at centre-half forward. When O'Dwyer goes off the ball, he goes into the forward pocket. Steins comes onto the ball, and Campbell, who was in the forward pocket, at centre-half forward for Melbourne.
Let's see what happened here. Too high from Banks. Too much doubt about that. So Tony Campbell having his third shot at goal. He's got one goal and one out of bounds on the full so far. Advice from Brian Wilson, who last week at the MCG kicked, I think it was 3 goals in the first quarter. Campbell, 45 metres out, directly in front. Melbourne's second goal. Campbell's second goal.
Well, he is playing well at the moment, Tony Campbell. He really did attack that ball, although he was aided by the fact that it came over the back, but he ran onto it really well. It wasn't a good hand pass. That hand pass there, you could see there with the more or less the open hand, a left-handed open hand pass, and wasn't a good one. He could have set it up for Todd Viney much better, and I think Todd Viney would have gone into an open goal.
1 point the difference now at VFL Park. Collingwood 2-2, leading Melbourne 2-1. We've got 9 1/4 minutes left in the opening term.
Melbourne getting themselves back into it after a great start by Collingwood into the breeze, where they first kicked the first 2 goals. There's the Premier of Victoria, John Cain, and his wife Nancy. Interested spectators. Nancy Cain, #1 ticket holder with the Fitzroy Football Club in Melbourne.
That was a great tackle there by Steins. He contested the ruck work, then followed up with a great tackle on Robertson.
Steins and O'Dwyer, the 2 linchpins for Melbourne. They're beaten by Moncourse there, those Steins. David Robertson tries to crash his way through. In the meantime, there was a free kick to Melbourne, and it will go the way of Alan Johnson. Johnson, a low trajectory kick, a chance for Melbourne here at half forward to Wilson. The handball's a bad one, 20 metres backwards, intended for Newport. Newport's got it all flattened as he kicked it. Could have been a free kick. Oh, Peter Rowe, far too slow getting rid of that. That's poor play. Robertson, he loses it to Gavin Brown. The tackle on Brown. Umpire calls play on as the hand pass comes to Campbell, who's playing like a man possessed. A beautiful kick by Campbell to half forward has found Steins. A much maligned player for Melbourne, Tony Campbell. He's really improved. Steins up towards the half forward line. Over the back was O'Dwyer, taken away by McEwen. McEwen short to Banks. Banks couldn't take the mark. Out towards the boundary line, and Dennis Banks quite happy to see it go over.
So boundary throw inside 50. Melbourne in attack after Collingwood did most of the attacking in the first 10 minutes of this quarter. The Magpies still leading by 1 point. O'Dwyer gets the ball out the back end, and we see Graham Wright pick it up effectively. It's on to Banks. Banks' kick out towards Gaither. Gaither and stretch. Turner and Viney. Run by Jamie Turner. The most consistent player for Collingwood this year. The kick was not a long one. Courageous mark taken by Johnson. Gets it out and turned to Spalding. Kerrison, mark he should have taken. Shane Kerrison. Plenty of time to do something with that. Steins, one-handed, they're hard to mark that way. Dersma gives it to Johnson. And that's a bad kick taken by Turner at midfield. He's gone for a short pass. Krasiska marks it still inside the square.
Poke on for Collingwood and Muckhurst off.
Kelly, a backhanded mark. He seemed to put the hands up in front of him. Very cleverly, as the ball was falling rather quick. What's his position of the hands here? The left one in particular. Look at that. Exceedingly well done. Right on 50. High kick. Plenty of distance. Steins in front. Thumps it away from David Craig. Johnson fumbles, might prove crucial. Rhys-Larkis, a bad hand pass under pressure. He'll get a second chance at Rhys-Larkis, but he's missed it with the shot at goal. And in fact has put it out of bounds on the full. So the free kick to Melbourne in the left back pocket with just over 6 minutes left in the opening term. The free kick will be taken by Melbourne's Iron Man Rod Winter.
Well, we could see by the kick of Kelly a moment ago the strength of the breeze that it really held in. This is Jimmy Steins about to take that penalty kick, but it really held up into the wind. So it's been a good performance so far by Collingwood in this match. Oh, Spalding, heavy work on Cloak, Beveridge. That was Healy, in fact, shooting it out to Spalding. Spalding to the half-back line, a 2-on-2 contest, and eventually Brendan Tranter puts the ball over the line. halfway between centre wing. There's Damien Monkhorst and, of course, young Hecker, Terry Hecker. He'll be a very nervous young fellow on the bench. Cloak doing the ruck work against Steins. The tap was by Cloak. Sean White goes back onto the left. A magnificent smother there. A top smother by Brendan Tranter, half forward for Collingwood.
It's good to see youngsters doing that. First season player Tranter.
Again, Cloak against Jimmy Steins. Steins tried to grab it. Comes out to Road. Road onto the left. Down towards Brian Wilson, who didn't chase it against Kerrison a moment ago. That's Gaffer to Jamie Turner. Turner to the half-forward line. Punched away by Lovett. He's doing fairly well. Grinter taps it on. Clever play, Johnson. Collingwood have got the numbers round the ball, but the umpires found a free kick, and it will go the way of Melbourne to Stephen Newport.
Shot right in the back, didn't it? Road, as Peter mentioned in the call before, was a little bit too slow in getting rid of the ball. O'Dwyer, just a little shove out from McEwen. The ball's going to beat Ron McEwen over the boundary line, though. It'll be thrown in about 40 metres from the Melbourne goal. One half-forward flank for the Demons. 4.5 minutes left in the opening term. McEwen and O'Dwyer. Interesting contest, won by O'Dwyer. Robertson at the back. The hand pass comes out to Wilson. He gets a hurried one in turn. And the ball shuffled over the boundary line in front of the Collingwood captain. It'll be thrown back into play.
Stephen Newport tagging Gavin Brown. Now Brown resting on the half-forward line. Newport still with him.
O'Dwyer and McEwen, same ruckman, same result. Won by O'Dwyer. Campbell in front of Christian, but Christian's going to win this contest. Back to McEwen. On the right, onto Shaw. Back to right, haven't really gained much. Collingwood, they've retained possession. Morwood should do something with it. He's got it back to right on the left centre wing. A wobbly kick. Certainly didn't help the forwards' cause at all. Krasiska runs at the ball. Lovett, great courage. Centering kick up towards the centre half-forward position. This is Tranter doing well so far for Collingwood. Farms it out to Christian, seemingly with plenty of time to dispose of it well. David Craig marks in front of Jim Steins. Now play on call. Didn't go over the mark much. Hurried hand pass. Dersma off the ground in front of Starcevic. A long way from goal. And Dersma taps it on. Almost lackadaisical, that piece of play. Ball very close to the boundary line, and the umpire will take, I think, the obvious answer and ball it up.
It was great to see Brett Lovett come through strongly on the half-back flank early, because he's been led to the ball on a number of occasions by Peter Dacos.
It's a great contest, that. Lovett versus Dacos. Lovett's done a couple of nice things, but so has Dacos, as Don said. Here's David Cloak, who looked very slow a moment ago. Kicked away by Guida. Now, is that out in the full? Umpire said no. It's on centre wing.
Spalding looks as if he's now playing up on the forward line, being picked up by Shane Morwood.
I'm amazed they didn't start with Spalding on the centre half forward. There is a ruck contest again. Steins getting the tap out. Umpire again will bounce it on centre wing.
And Sean White's now in the full back position, picking up Craig Kelly. So Melbourne pulling changes.
Well, they had to do something. They're kicking into the strong breeze, Collingwood, and been a top quarter so far. Road, again, very slow to get his boot to ball, and the tackle forces him to kick it out of bounds on the full. And really showing a slight lack of pace there, Peter Road. The kick around the boundary line, that could have been out in the full too.
It was.
So it'll be a Melbourne penalty free kick at that half-back area. And let's see who's taking it. It's Peter Road. Melbourne could do with a couple of quick goals before quarter time, kicking with this fairly strong breeze. There's Tony Shaw, who's been working hard over to Kerrison. Kerrison kicks wide to Turner. And well judged mark by Jamie Turner on the half-back flank. Turner coming through the centre, or sets up his team. Oh, very poor effort that on Graham Wright. As Wright goes to the half-forward line, Kelly again. Sean White had the pace to punch it away. Kelly in after it. Former South Australian, a beautiful hand pass to Cloak. Cloak kicks into the man on the mark. Cloak tapping it on. Road ridden into the ground by Taylor. Hand pass comes out to Robertson. He's dispossessed, and some strong work went on there. The umpire charging in. It's a free kick going against Grinter. And And he's going to Krasiska. Krasiska sets it up for his forwards. Let's see if someone could take a mark. Punched away by Phoebe. The brilliant Dacos in after it. Dacos still tapping the ball on. Brilliant play, Dacos. The short chip pass is smothered. Touch of the fumbles for Melbourne allows Sean White to get onto the left boot. Out wide of the ball is with Tony Shaw on centre wing. Greg Healy hotly pressing him. Back it comes to Christensen. Desperation here. Over to Krasiska. Krasiska again sets it up for his forwards. Up in front of goal for Collingwood. Fisted away by Dersma. Strong Melbourne defence by Lovett, who gives it over to Steins.
Goes to quarter time. Steins kick back to Krasiska just outside the square. Beautiful pass. And Starcevic marks in front. He'll be kicking from round about 50. And it will probably be the last kick of the quarter because the clock ticking down, less than 10 seconds to go. No time on being added here. So Starcevic, a chance to put the Magpies in front at quarter time. Looks good. And right on the siren, it's a goal. And during the break, the umpire spoke to Newport and Kerrison. Maybe some numbers were taken. It would have been Shane Kerrison. Lovett's kick up to Wilson. The hand pass a little bit too wide of Viney. It might allow Healy to pick the ball up. He has done, but the whistle has gone. And that will be brought back. That was a slow decision then by the umpire. I suppose he was waiting to play the advantage, but the advantage wasn't on because Kerrison definitely scragged Wilson on that occasion. Good decision, umpire. Brian Wilson. Not a good short pass to Bennett. Banks. The high kick only travels about 15 metres, and the mark should be taken by Peter Road. Not paid by the umpire. Didn't hold it long enough, he said. Is that in the back to Viney, or is it holding the ball? The Collingwood free kick. Morwood breaks away, but he's going to have to bring the ball back. Peter Road should have taken that mark on that occasion. That was an easy chest mark. Risalakis, short pass. Jamie Turner. Wobbly punt kick. In fact, over the centre square with the breeze. So it's still fairly strong. This is Spalding, who started on the bench, which was in itself a surprising move. Kelly, who's kicked a goal so far, over the head of Jamie Dersma, and it will be thrown back into play about 5 to 8 metres from the behind post.
Well, some pathetic efforts by Melbourne. Dersma a moment ago tried to kick it off the ground when he should have grabbed the ball and run away with it.
No addition to the score so far in the second quarter. Monkhurst. Oh, that's a high tackle, is it not? A Melbourne player. Let's see who it is. Is it Healy? Yes, it is. And logically enough, Healy comes up with the free kick.
He's gone the short pass across the face of goal. He's found Jamie Dersma. Dersma going short. This could be dangerous. The pass was intended for Grinter. Here's Gavin Krasiska against Spalding. Well, Spalding didn't tackle strongly enough. The hand pass beautifully to Graham Wright. Wright sets it up for Kelly. Kelly off Sean White. That's a good move to put Sean White down there because he's a very quick player. And
he's gone backwards.
He's gone backwards by about 20 metres to stretch, and they're going in all circles, Melbourne. But the loose man has now been gained because Johnson's got it. Johnson to centre wing. Over the back is Morwood. Morwood should be able to get this and trap it. He does. Shane Morwood, a vital player for Collingwood. A couple of casual bounces coming through centre wing. Down towards the half-forward line. Dersma at the back. Should get it. He does. To Newport. Newport. That's beautiful play, Newport. Over to Alan Johnson. Johnson over the top. And this is when they fall down when they get it about this area. Peter Rowe. Over to Brett Lovett. Big job on Dacos. Lovett to the half-forward line. Over the back was Steins. O'Dwyer ran past the ball. Melbourne have got the numbers. And the umpires found a free kick for holding the ball, and it will go to Brian Wilson, who made sure the umpires, or is it Wilson going to receive it? Now it's further afield, and it looks like Steins might take it.
Spalding looks as if he's running between the two half-forward lines.
Well, they're not sure. The players aren't sure where this free kick's supposed to be taken. Now Steins has been directed wider. Now he's got tons of room to play on. Athos Risalakis just caught napping there a bit. Steins to half-forward, and this is where this man must play. Centre-half-forward, Spalding.
Well, he's down at centre-half-back, but he seems to be running between the two half-forward lines.
Well, he's one of the best centre-forwards in the game, Spalding. He should play there as he brings it towards full forward, Wilson.
And that was terrific judgment on that occasion, because that ball did drop. rather harshly, and it was Wilson who put his body in front, and a good mark.
But he's only 25 metres out directly in front. He's a very capable goal kicker, Brian Wilson. Directly in front, they need this Melbourne as Wilson kicks and pops it through. Melbourne 3-1-19, but most importantly, Melbourne have lifted their game. The Magpies have stopped for the moment. It's in front. Wilson in front of the Melbourne goal. Wilson was at a push in the back. He staged for that, the umpire said. Out it comes to Tranter from Turner. On to Ronnie McEwen. McEwen coming around the outer wing. Oh, he ran a long way. Now he has a bounce. Hooks it around the boundary line and only succeeds in putting it out of bounds on the full.
Effort wasted. 17 and a half minutes left in the second quarter. Steve Newport has the free kick. One of the best taggers in the building. Yeah, that too. In the business. Spalding's hand pass to Beveridge. And the mark is taken down there on the wing by Steve Phoebe. Melbourne into the breeze, doing better so far at least than they did with it. Healy again runs into his own man in Bennett. Chance for the Demons again. The ball is hooked high towards half forward. Off the ground.
Tackle.
Touched, was it? Yes.
Gee, that was a great tackle by Grinter. Thought he may have pulled it in. That mark pulled in by just strength. It just didn't. What a great tackle on the recovery.
Dennis Banks to kick the ball back. Scores level in the elimination final. John Northey and Frank Adams for the Melbourne Grange Trust. Banks goes out wide with the kick. Dwyer and Monkhurst again. It's a good battle that. Phoebe close to the boundary line, gathers it just inside of Rhys-Alakis. Healy makes good position from Shaw. Wilson gives it to him. Hooks it with the right foot. That'll be close. And the ball bouncing over the boundary line for a throw-in. Demons right forward.
Just watching Darren Bennett going back for that mark. He is very, very slow up there at full forward. He should have been able to get back to that mark. Perfect full forward position that was. Duck back and take it. There's Steins. Taps it over. Morwood tackle. Oh, great tackle on Robertson. Grinter, great use of the body. Here's a chance for Melbourne. Alan Johnson has it smothered by Robertson. O'Dwyer as a teammate and Viney grab it. Viney up in front of goal for Melbourne. Here's Bennett. Tried to tap it on. Oh, Wilson. An open goal. Couldn't pick it up. In after it again is Brian Wilson. That is a disgraceful decision. That is a bad decision to give that against the guy who was making the play and going in hard after the ball.
Let's hope they're consistent, the umpires.
Well, bad luck to Melbourne, but there's the short kick by Shaw. Has found Kerrison. Rhys-Alakis at half-back. Kicks wide. A one-on-one contest. O'Dwyer in front. Has it tapped away. That was good play by Robertson. He has the pace to go in after it again, David Robertson. Clever sidestep, a wobbly kick to half forward. A brilliant mark has been taken by Dacos. On to Starcevic. Starcevic from 40 metres had an open goal, but has missed and put it through for one behind.
1 point the difference in the elimination final. Sean White to kick in. 15 minutes and 8 seconds left in the second term. White favours the member stand side. Well, Grinter read it well. Ball dropped a little bit short into the breeze. Grinter did the rest. Spalding to stretch on the centre wing position. A good kick by the South Australian. With plenty of distance with it. Doesn't really find a man though. Lovely sidestep by Jamie Turner. Gives the hand pass effectively to Christian. He'll have to be quick. Good tackle, Healy. And the kick subsequently not well directed. Dersmer and Starcevic. Rowe in front of Tranter. Newport traps it well. Robertson and Campbell. Rhys-Alakis. McEwen off the edge of the square. Tries a balk. The big fellow did it rather nicely. Under Rhys-Alakis again. Not a good hand pass from that player. McEwen gets himself into bother and then out of bother. And the Worms duck the cover. Clean bowl. Starcevic. Wobbly kick off the boot. Francisca. Gutsy mark.
I think a bit of luck involved there, Pete.
Yes. A lot of luck.
We saw Collingwood's Achilles heel there, evident in the centre of the ground. If you can really put the pressure on, they go around in circles. They did on that occasion. That grubber by McEwen was fortunate that it missed a lot of players, and it's finished up with Francisco,
who will have a shot at goal from 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. He's missed it. The goal umpire indicating only one behind. The Magpie cause 3-4 to 3-2. 2 points the difference. We expected a top game, and we've certainly got that. And Alan Johnson looking for a lead across the half-back line. Road comes forward. Instead, he comes to the member stand side. In front was Kelly. Ball slapped out the back. Might have been a high tackle on Gavin Brown there. But instead, it's going to be a bounce about 60 metres out from goal.
Just under 13.5 minutes of play left in this second quarter. It's been a good quarter by Melbourne. Graham Wright, a quick kick towards the half-forward line. It's Melbourne in front. Alan Johnson ran straight at the ball. Brings it around towards Viney. Viney's still in after. That was good play, Todd Viney. Luke Beveridge, clever hand pass to Spalding, who's playing well. Spalding hooks it back towards half-forward. Brian Wilson and lost it to Gayfer. That was good play to Christian. Christian to half-forward, and he's found Kosiska. Kosiska's got loose men everywhere. Arisalakis, one of them. He's gone towards the pocket. He's found his man there, and it's Gavin Brown, who we haven't seen much of. Brown short to Starcevic. And a bit of loose checking there by Melbourne has allowed Craig Starcevic to mark 35 to 40 metres out on a slight angle.
Well, that was great play by Collingwood then, because all their loose men were used. Bad checking by Melbourne. 7 kicks to Starcevic, going for his second goal. I think he's kicked it slightly to the right. He has, so another bad miss by Collingwood. This could be costly in the long run. They've kicked 3-5 to Melbourne's 3-2, but it's a very evenly contested game now as Dersma brings it out. Or Phoebe's dropped the sitter. He's lost it. Bad miss by Stephen Phoebe, but he goes back after it and takes it over the line. Craig Starcevic, 1 goal, 4.
And only 1 goal kicked so far in this quarter too, Don. Defences, you'd have to say, of both sides well on top. Monkhurst taps it down to Starcevic. Can he make it 2 goals, 4? I think he has. It's a goal. Tremendous shot.
9 points the difference. The Magpies lead. Kerrison shuffles it over to Harisalakis. Magpies again go forward. This is Brett Lovett, who's having a great contest with Dacos. Over to Phoebe. Lovett is a very, very talented player. The mark has been dropped out there by Phoebe. Not Phoebe. Lovett, I should say, as we see. The kick is by Robertson, right down towards the half-forward line. Over the back is Sean White. White will go wide. He's looking out there for Grinter. Oh, a bad bounce. Favours Graham White. The Melbourne players, too many of them are running at the man and not at the ball. And Stretch did it then, as we see Sean White towards half-forward. Well, here's a chance for Melbourne. Road over the top. This is Christian, cleverly back to Morwood. Morwood, a hand pass that was intended for Monkhorst. Spalding goes in hard after it. Here's a chance for Melbourne. This is Beveridge. Beveridge, a daisy cutter pass to the... Again, O'Dwyer ran at the man. Now he taps it on. Chance there for Viney. Back to Wilson. Wilson ridden into the ground. Could have received a free kick. Not paid. Morwood wide. After Arisalakis with a panic to run in. There's no one to kick it to, though, and now he elects to hook it back. Steins in front. Kicked out of the action. Taken by Gavin Brown. Over to Robertson. The Magpies with a chance as Robertson comes forward. He's looking for Starcevic. He's playing on Dersma. Starcevic, well, that could be holding the ball. Umpire said no, play on. As Dersma goes wide. Steve O'Dwyer's about to go off the ground. As he's about to walk across the line, the ball comes out to him. Kicks it to Wilson. Wilson tapped away by Morwood. Morwood to McEwen. Back it comes to Morwood. Great defence, the Magpies.
Certainly defending well. Robertson playing one of his better games that I've seen him put in for Collingwood since he arrived from South Australia. He's certainly a speedster. Still going. Stones won't catch him. He can shoot a goal from there, and he has done, but he's off target. Only just. That came back beautifully. Missed by half a metre.
How long is he allowed to run for? He ran for a mile without bouncing the ball.
And John Northey at half-time ought to speak to a few of his players and say to make the ball your objective, and they'll do better.
Peter Road. Peter Road has to get around Arisalakis, which he does, but only just. On to Johnson. Johnson's kick out of defence up towards the centre wing position. Phoebe. Not Phoebe down there. Yes, it was Phoebe. Over and turned to Lovett. Having a great duel on Peter Dacos. And the mark is taken by Gaither at midfield.
Melbourne pulling changes on interchange. Viney and O'Dwyer off and Jackson and Yates on.
A little bit of mobility perhaps, Don, which they need certainly at the moment. Graham Wright twist out of trouble and then got himself into it. The ball socketed away into the arms of Stretch. Hooks the ball across his body down towards half forward. Jamie Turner in the road. Neat sidestep to get around Yates. The mark is taken by Tranter. Centering kick to right.
And McEwen coming off for Collingwood and Hecker on.
That's a fine mark for Francisco, who's having a good second turn. Francisco short of half forward. A little bit too long for just about everybody down there except Jamie Dersma. He'll do the tidying up work. He's gone out wide to Johnson in the left back pocket. Long clearing kick by the West Australian. Phoebe in front. The two number 21s, Christian, will stand the mark.
And the reason McEwen's gone off is because Jackson was in the forward pocket and they now put Tranter onto Jackson.
Kick to centre wing. Spalding and Morwood. Nearly a mark to Morwood. Campbell comes out with the ball. Campbell's kick up towards the centre half forward position. Turner got two hands to it. That could have almost been a Melbourne free kick for Spalding. The umpire says no. Jackson just under the ground to Wilson. Should be a Melbourne goal. Over the top to Bennett. Oh, he gives it back to Jackson, who's kicked it.
Well, you'd have your heart in your mouth if you're a Melbourne supporter on that occasion. It was a 3-on-1 situation, and I did think that Dennis Banks, who is limping on, looks as if he's twisted his ankle. Let's hope he hasn't. If Dennis Banks would upset that effort. There's Ricky Jackson breaking, just coming off interchange bench. Now there's only Dennis Banks down here for Collingwood. He's caught between the three of them. Bit airy-fairy, but nonetheless they got a goal.
Melbourne come back again. They only trail by 4 points, but here come the Magpies. Shane Morwood to half forward. Lovett has got on top of Dacos down there across the half-back line. It's been a good effort. Phoebe. Over to Greg Healy. Back to Phoebe. They're looking good, Melbourne. Phoebe to half forward. Wilson caught behind. And, oh, the bounce favours him. They've got loose men everywhere, Melbourne. Campbell goes short. The mark is dropped by Bennett, but Yates goes in to lend a hand. He's got it, Yates. Shuffles it out to Bennett. Bennett caught. Over the top. Ricky Jackson, will it bounce for him? He's got an open goal. In after it again. Clever play, Jackson. Oh, great play, Jackson onto the left foot. Hooks it back and hits the post. That deserved a goal.
Well, that looked like that old throwing the ball when he got the ball. Then he threw it out in front, hoping to be tackled.
And he wasn't grabbed, though. That was the thing.
Well, last week he was grabbed, and it was a goal to Neil Danaher. 3
points the difference. Collingwood lead. The kick out wide. Morwood. The bounce favours him. Spalding goes in after it. Oh, good play by Spalding. That allows Steins to give it to Healy. Melbourne have really lifted their work rate. Phoebe to Wilson, and that is champagne football that time, Melbourne. Great team play. And things are not looking... Collingwood have just stopped to a walk at the moment. Melbourne looking the better side. And if a few of their players would go to tackle instead of trying to bump blokes, they'd do better. Look at that pass, Don.
It's a machine gun type pass by Stephen Phoebe.
This is Brian Wilson. He's kicked one. He is only 35 metres out directly in front. Let's see what he can do. He kicks it low. It fades across the face. And he has missed.
It didn't look a good kick off the boot, that by Wilson.
2 points the margin now. Collingwood not being able with the win to get away from Melbourne. Dennis Banks playing at fullback on Bennett has gone wide. This could be dangerous. It's a play on call that'll favour Melbourne. This is Peter Rode hooking it back. Wilson and Bennett are there for Melbourne. Also Ricky Jackson. Desperate play by the Collingwood defence. As we see Banks putting the ball to ground. Umpire calls play on loose ball with Wilson. An open goal. Brian Wilson hooks it back. I think he's put it through. He has.
At the centre square going Melbourne's way. They've shot to a lead of 4 points after Wilson's second goal. It'll be taken by Steins. To half forward. Wilson in front again, but a big fist from the back of the pack sends the ball up to the edge of the square, and Gaper. A grub. Out to Johnson. Traps the ball nicely. Stretch.
He was gone.
He was thinking about it, Don, wasn't he? Marking in front of Hecker. Stephen stretch, keeps the ball close to the boundary line. It'll be marked by Yates. Yates at the right half forward flank. Couldn't score from there. Centering kick. Well, the flyer was Spalding. 4 Collingwood players at the fall of the ball. Shaw out to Kerrison, who we believe may have had his number taken during the first quarter. Spalding in pursuit. Back to Turner. Collingwood trailing at the moment by 4 points. Turner at the right half-back flank. Been a good quarter by the Demons after Collingwood led by 7 points at the first change. Loose ball for Dacos or Road. Road gives the hand pass out, and here come the Demons again. It's picked up by Phoebe. Phoebe a short pass down towards the half-forward line again. Yates traps it nicely, gets around Hecker. Christian, great grab.
I think he's going to reverse the decision.
The umpire doing here. No.
David Cloak on for Collingwood and Monkhurst off.
Well, they've got to do something. They're under a lot of pressure, Collingwood, at the moment.
So Christian's kick with the breeze to Cloak, who missed one that he certainly should have grabbed and normally would have. The umpire said it's going to be a free kick nonetheless to the Magpies, and it'll be taken by Peter Dacos inside the centre square.
Top quarter this by Melbourne. Loose ball finds Arisalakis. He seems to have a lot of space. He's gone wide. Dersma against Starcevic. That was good play by Jamie Dersma. He's lost it though to Robertson. An ordinary tackle that by Peter Road on Robertson. Robertson a high one. A chance for the Magpies. Kwasiska goes back over the head of Kelly, and Alan Johnson sees it through for a behind at Collingwood. 4-7 the Magpies. They're on 31. They trail Melbourne by 3 points. Melbourne on 5-4, 34. The short one is with Spalding, who's trying very, very hard.
He seems to have a roving commission because he flew for a mark down here in the forward line earlier.
Well, you'd like to have 2 of him, I reckon. Donny, just such a good trier, Earl Spalding. He's gone wide. This could be dangerous. Might favour Collingwood. No, Dersma's there. Over to Sean White. And Brett Lovett getting on top of Dacos has made a big difference to that Collingwood forward line. This is Phoebe, Stephen Phoebe, around the boundary line, and eventually it goes over. But Melbourne looking the better team.
And Dacos seems to be playing in that centre line, and we see there the kicks in favour of Melbourne. Very interesting.
I think they've moved Dacos up towards the centre because Lovett was getting right on top, Don. There's Arisalakis over to Tranter. Tranter runs to half forward. He can give it over the top. No, he elects now to kick it long. It was smothered off the boot, and that Melbourne defence doing particularly well. Well, there's Ronnie McEwen, who's been taken off the ground. Marks for the quarter, 23 to Melbourne, and Collingwood 16. That's mainly because Melbourne have controlled the play with their short passes.
Boundary throw in, won by Jamie Dersma. Didn't really gain anything, maybe a few metres. And once again, a boundary throw in to take place. Steins. Well contested, 2 1/4 minutes left in this half. Steins was David Cloak. Brown on the bottom of the stack. Ball pinned to him. And it will be a bounce, not a boundary throw, but a bounce. After that good tackle by Steve Newport. 3 points the difference in favour of the Demons. 34 plays 31. Before an excellent crowd at VFL Park. Brown again. This time it's shuffled out to Lovett. And picked up by Spalding. Gives it back to Lovett, close to the boundary line. Tries for Road. The bounce didn't really favour him. And a chance. Oh, that was a high one on Robertson. He'll take the free kick. Playing a bad game, Robertson. He's had quite a few possessions. 6 and 4, 10 possessions so far. After Kelly. Cloak from a standing start, the left footer. Looks pretty good. He might have kicked that one, David Cloak. He has. And the Magpies back in front.
Well, he knew he kicked at David Cloak as soon as, again, the ball had left his boot. That was a good play by Kelly. Because Kelly attacked that ball very, very hard. He saw Cloak on the left, a good hand pass. And there it is. Behind goals. Good shot by David Cloak. And let's hope that man can reach his 300th game. He's just hanging in there. He will use his experience in this game.
David Cloak's first goal, another centre square infringement. The Magpies leading by 3 points, and this time the centre square infringement has gone to Collingwood. And David Cloak, 2 consecutive kicks. Doesn't happen too often. He's really got onto that one. That's a boomer. Travelled 65 metres. Starcevic, can he make it another one? He has! Purple patch for the Magpies.
goals to Collingwood in the side of half-time, and the Pies led by 9 points at the long interval. Still the championship last home and away round 22.
Contenders for Holden Jackaroo Mark of the Year, round 22, opens with Mark Bays of the Swans at the MCG. North Melbourne's Jose Ramiro came from nowhere to grab this one.
McCarthy getting back there, Ramiro.
On the wing, Greg Anderson was outstanding for Essendon.
Anderson, what a mark.
While Melbourne players flashed in and out. First, Earl Spalding.
Oh, what a brilliant mark by Spalding.
Brett Lovett off the half-back flank.
Towards the half-back line. What a brilliant mark that by Lovett.
And Tony Campbell on this occasion was desperate to hold on.
Excellent mark.
New Eagle, Peter Molesso, went straight up and stayed up.
Fine mark taken by Molesso.
But Supercat Gary Ablett crunched his opponent from behind. Carlton's Craig Bradley launched himself under tremendous odds.
Brilliant mark.
And finally, teammate Ian Herman judged one to perfection.
In front of him by his teammate and Herman.
And the winner for round 22 is the Eagles' Peter Molesso. And this mark will qualify him to be in the running for the Holden Jackaroo Mark of the Year. Holden Jackaroo gives you all the room.
Third quarter now. The 89 elimination final between Collingwood and Melbourne, 43-34 in favour of the Magpies after they got 2 late goals in the second quarter. And that really certainly helped their cause after the Demons outplayed them for much of the term. Yates diving on top of the ball with also Brown, but it's going to be a ball up just wide of the circle. We had some rain during half-time. The lights are on here, and in fact light rain is still falling. Steins punches the ball well clear of the congestion out towards the edge of the square. Wilson and Gaffer right, reads the play a little bit better, tries to get around Road. He'll do so. Short pass, and the mark has been taken by Grosiska just off the edge of the square. So conditions are going to be pretty slippy for the remainder of the day, it would appear. Ball still standing right up into the breeze. Mark missed down there by Turner, picked up by Dersma. Doesn't kick the ball very far. Rusalakis again slips over at the crucial moment. Phoebe looking for the free kick. There is none there. And the light improving, the rain getting heavier.
Gaffer now picking up Brian Wilson.
Steins knocks it away from Monkhurst. Hecker off the ground from Graham Yates towards the half-forward line. We'll see a different style of football in the second half. And Gaffer didn't read that at all well. Beveridge to Wilson to Newport outside 50. The Melbourne tagger could just about score from there with the breeze. That'll go pretty close. Banks, did he touch it? No, says the goal umpire.
Well, what an ambitious kick then by Stephen Newport. I thought, well, he may have been a little hungry from that 50-metre line. He didn't look for options. He banged it towards goal, and I suppose with the breeze behind it, that was a magnificent kick. Watch this. This is from about 50 metres out. He goes on to the 50 metre. Actual fact, it's about 55 metres out. And a valiant effort by Dennis Banks there, but he just could not stop it.
Very handy goal, that one to Melbourne. Just after half-time, the margin now is 3 points in favour of Collingwood. And Newport has done a magnificent job today on Gavin Brown. He's kept him down to 2 kicks. Now there's Brown now. Be a hard man to keep down all day. Brown hooks it back to half-forward, but the mark has been taken by Grinter. This is the match-winning quarter, this one. Melbourne are kicking with this breeze. They will have to have a lead at three-quarter time, I would think. It's at half-forward. Christian wide with the hand pass to Tony Shaw. Shaw to centre wing. Over the back, it's Grinter racing at the ball, but he ran straight past it. Monkhorst. Over it goes to Shane Morwood. The slippery ball now, he can't quite control it. Long hand pass, comes to Turner. Turner tapping it back over his head for Gavin Brown. Oh, the Melbourne player Johnson waited. He should have run at it. Here's Robertson. Chance now for Gavin Krosiska from 35 metres. Straightens up, and that was a costly miss before. Now he's put it through.
Yes, I might have to agree with you, Peter. Johnson's effort going for the ball on that occasion, he could have at least restrained the Collingwood player coming the other way, but this ball's going to get difficult to handle. Watch this. I was taught in my second game, you never bump on the back line as Alan Johnson did on that occasion by our captain at that stage, Graham Arthur. And he tried to bump, you always restrain your opponent.
Back into the centre, 5 Collingwood players have now kicked goals. The difference, 9 points once again in favour of the Magpies. Shaw runs straight at the ball, but he does always. Grinter spirals the punt kick. Rain still falling and the sun's out. Beveridge. Yates, Spalding it is rather, onto Healy. Not a particularly good hand pass. Jackson. Healy could go from there, runs in, shepherded well by Wilson, and that's a pretty quick reply.
You're looking sharp, you're looking good, you've come so far, and we know how to make the most of who you are. Where the race is run, you're the champion.
Gillette Contour Plus with lubricating strip for the best a man can get.
The best a man can get.
Where do millions of jets, helicopters, planes, trains and trucks go when they're low on fuel? The same place you do. BP. BP on the move.
This is Anytown, and this is Jack, Anytown's handyman.
G'day.
Jack and his Nissan Navara have had a busy week. Monday, there was a brush with the law. Tuesday, a constructive engagement. Wednesday, a run on the stock market. Thursday and Friday positively flew by. This weekend, Jack's going fishing with the boys. And that's just another job his Navara has covered. With Nissan's 2-year warranty.
That's my truck.
I don't smoke. It's the only way to stay ahead of the game.
Winners are winners. Quitters are ahead. Because when you quit, you're ready and fit to let your body do its best. Let your body do its best.
One weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Do something for yourself. Join the Army Reserve.
For information, call 662 2333.
Steins loses out to actually Starcevic. Lovett, who's done a good job on Dacos. We won't be too proud of that kick. It might still find Yates just inside the boundary. It does, but it was too close. He runs out of room. And now on the other side of the grounds, once again a throw-in to be affected. 18.5 minutes remaining in this quarter. 38 Monkhurst, 11 Steins. Well, hits the deck again for Johnson to pick up the crumbs well. Playing only his second game back after a knee injury against Carlton earlier in the year. Brian Wilson has done some useful things today. This is one of them. Under Phoebe, that's not a good kick. Bennett hasn't had the greatest of days. Taps the ball back, trying to find Healy, who kicked a goal earlier in this quarter. Frank Adams in front. John Northey. Shaw. Moved the ball pretty quickly from the Collingwood captain, who got 8 kicks in the first quarter. Steins and Monkhurst to get on the boundary line. Steins has kept the ball pretty close to the boundary, only to see Dennis Banks take the mark right on the line. Banks playing at full back today and doing a good job on Bennett. He's blanketed him, although the ball hasn't really been delivered to Bennett in what you would call a correct manner. Yates and Robertson. Again, the ball is out of bounds. On centre wing, Collingwood Brain Trust now. Lee Matthews looking concerned, as all coaches do during a game. 3 points the difference. Monkhurst wins this one. Good ruck work down to Tony Shaw. Stretch in front. A high tackle, holding the man. The umpire actually played the advantage rule, and here he takes advantage of it. And that's a fine sliding mark taken by Darren Bennett.
What a good effort by Stretch. It's a pity he doesn't do that a little more often. He got it across to Healy, and a good kick to Healy. A sliding mark to Darren Bennett. There it is. He's only had the one kick up until this stage and one handball, so he hasn't had much use of the ball.
Well, Darren Bennett is one of the longest kicks in the competition. Now, if he can get some good footing, he'll get the distance without any problems. He's done that. It's a goal.
Well, his 29th for the season, Darren Bennett. And at least they've got a big man down there, and the players, if they're under pressure, they can put it high and know that the ball could be marked deep on that forward line. But that was a good sliding mark, instigated by the great effort by Stephen Stretch when he went through down that outer wing, got it across to Healy, and a good pass from the captain, Greg Healy, to Darren Bennett.
Melbourne haven't been in front too often today. Steins is playing well in this quarter as he kicks it to half forward. Danger for Collingwood. It's fisted away. Gafer slipped over. That allows Wilson to grab it. It's tapped on towards half forward. Banks caught. Gets in a quick hand pass to Tranter. Then it's back to Kerrison. Kerrison's gone short to Christian, who takes a one-handed juggling mark. He's got a loose man in the centre of the ground. This is Gavin Brown. Brown has gone short. It's a bad kick. Straight to Dersma. Dersma kicks across the face because he had a loose man out there in Stretch. Stretch, who was instrumental in the last goal with a brilliant bit of players gone wide. He's got a loose man out there who's done a great job today in Gavin Brown. And that was Newport. Newport to half forward. The mark is dropped, but Melbourne have loose men everywhere. Road is there. He's gone wide. Too wide, in fact. Kerrison getting back as Collingwood make a change. Dacos off the ground. Ronnie McEwen on.
Interesting.
Well, he's been taken out of the game by Lovett. I just wonder, he has suffered with a groin injury during the year. I wonder if he's injured. 5 kicks and 6 handballs he's had. Spalding comes back after. He's a good player, this man, Spalding. A high kick on the left foot. Oh, some shepherding. Is it a goal? Yes!
What a magnificent kick by Earl Spalding. Luke Beveridge doesn't look too good after that clash in the goal square. He's probably knocked his shin, and they really do hurt. But a good effort by Spalding. He has worked hard, as Peter suggested earlier. Here he is going for the hit out. It was Christian who got it. But watch Spalding follow up very quickly. He didn't look at the goal square. He just put it in the vicinity of the goal. It's a high ball. And lucky, a bounce through. Melbourne have scored their 9th.
4 goals to Melbourne in this quarter to 1 by Collingwood. A good turn for the Demons and picked up at centre field by Phoebe. Melbourne doing all the attacking. Bennett, not a mark. Didn't play at the umpire. And you can't really argue with that. A throw, says the umpire now. A Collingwood free kick.
Well, things going Melbourne's way. There was a different free kick, but Melbourne are playing. They're playing better than Collingwood at the moment, Pete.
Healy right on 50 with the wind. Bennett at the back. Shepard's that run through. That's another one.
Just watch the way Greg Healy does kick this ball. He was a long way out from goal. The drop punt, he's only a small fellow, but when he did actually kick the ball, he just kept running through, and the momentum of his body helped the ball on its way. Now here's the infringement. There's, oh, well, that's a lay down Mazier, isn't it? Now what's that kick? He just ran straight through that ball. A great kick from the captain. Beveridge coming off, and Viney coming on, so he doesn't look too good. 3 Melbourne players have now kicked 2 goals. Campbell, Wilson and Healy, 64 to 49, and again Melbourne out of the centre through Spalding. Onto Yates, the Demons into attack again. Bennett getting the front position. Banks, good use of the body. Jackson was dangerous in a forward pocket. Centering kick, and the mark has been taken in the square by Viney. So Melbourne, who at half-time trailed 34 to 43 in the first half of this term, have possibly turned in a match-winning effort. Todd Viney directly in front for Melbourne's 11th goal.
Well, he shouldn't miss this, Viney. And what a handy lead to Melbourne, kicking with the breeze. Cloak coming on as he... Oh, he's just kicked it.
Yes, I can understand why that gasped, Peter, because it didn't look a good kick off the boot. But Viney, who's just come on replacing Luke Beveridge, his first goal. But it was Ricky Jackson's effort. Now here it is here. Look at this. A ball held across the body. That's what they do in soccer. They run down that outer wing in soccer and then they screw the ball back in to open up the goal face. Good stuff.
Well, what a turnaround. Melbourne by 21 points. Collingwood will have to stem the tide. Steins has been magnificent in this quarter. Here they come again, Melbourne. Through Graham Yates again, they steam towards half forward. There's Viney charging in after Collingwood, desperately trying to get it, do something with the ball. Spalding's been an inspiration. Beautiful hand pass to Viney. Viney a quick kick to half forward. The hand pass is a bad one. And it's a free kick. Now whose way? It's going Melbourne's. And if this is stretch, no, it's not. It's Ricky Jackson. Collingwood were off and running, but Jackson probably won't make the distance. He's at about 55 metres, unless he gets onto a torpedo. He's gone for it. Oh, it's a low trajectory kick. Oh, touched just in front. He got onto a low trajectory torpedo and it nearly cleared the pack. We saw Beveridge come off the ground. What's the report, Michael Roberts?
Well, they tested him for a badly damaged left knee, but he's up jogging now and he's warming up with the physio, and he may come back on.
Dennis Banks to kick in. 21 points the difference. Melbourne this quarter kicking 6 goals to Collingwood's 1 in a top effort under some rather difficult conditions with the rain we've had. Yates a clever knock on. Jackson again in the pocket. Will we have a shot or have a centering kick? This time he has a shot and he's put it through.
Every day, BP supplies the fuels and lubricants that start the engines of over 30 million vehicles all over the earth. So you could say that we help get things going around here. BP, on the move.
What's your boss's name again?
Max.
And his wife?
June.
How do I look?
Great.
Deodorant. Forgot the palm olive.
Full-strength palm olive antiperspirants with allantoin for sensitive skin.
I'm ready.
Palm olive. Protection you can trust, naturally. Whatever you do, don't forget the palm olive.
What's the most versatile way to enjoy all the foods we love today?
Versatile salada, onion salada, man size, crisp, light and snack size, easy to nibble, bite size. Onion salada, most versatile.
Only Arnott Salada Cracker Biscuits are this versatile.
Man size, snack size, bite size, versatile salada.
For all the foods we love today.
The perfect Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
This week in the Sunday Herald, Richard Hadley rips into Australian cricket. We begin a 4-part guide to personal finance, essential reading.
The perfect Sunday.
And in the Perfect Sunday Colour magazine, sensational reprints of sensational art. The first colour picks from the edge of the universe. And the sweetest tarts in town.
The perfect Sunday with the Sunday Herald.
It's a deadly combination of stress and high blood pressure.
Collapsed and lost consciousness, that's all I know.
It kills and maims hundreds of Australians every year.
He's only 42, for heaven's sake. He's always been so healthy.
Now, Tom Fletcher's had a stroke.
Tom could be paralysed or brain damaged or anything.
Home and Away, Monday at 6:30 on 7.
Tuesday night. Have Arthur's shonky dealings finally pushed everyone too far?
Of course, yeah, I see your point.
Minder, only on 7.
Probably a better kick. That's a ripper. 55-metre kick into the forward pocket. Bennett's kick. Viney. Kerrison. Ball paddled out the back to David Cloak. Spirals it out towards the half-back flank.
Oh, good mark. Well, I think a push out. push in the back against Graham Yates, and good umpiring to Graham Wright. Collingwood must score, go up and score a couple of goals, because Melbourne are playing with great adrenaline there, really on top at the moment, starting with Steins at the centre bounces. There's Johnson out wide. Oh, Grinter too easily, he got away then. Grinter centres the ball. Wilson and Spalding, who has been great. Spalding over the top, chance for Dennis Banks to come out of defence, tapping the ball on. He runs away, good play by Banks. Banks wide, stretch, goes for the punch. That was disciplined play. It allows Phoebe to charge in after it. Players going in hard on centre wing. The loose ball comes out to Phoebe, who's been a good player. Phoebe to half forward. Dennis Banks goes back, showed a lot of courage, Banks. And Banks deserved to end up with the ball too, as he gives it to Cloak. Cloak from half back, a wobbly old kick towards centre wing. Playing for the free kick was Morwood. Good skills by Shane Morwood. Over to Harisalakis. Harisalakis to half forward. Sean White was the flyer. Over the back is Starcevic. He goes to ground. Play on, says the umpire. Hand pass to Kelly. Kelly with an open goal. Hooks it back. A great look kick. It comes back.
Got it.
It's a goal.
Well, that was a great goal then by Craig Kelly. A really good goal, because he was a long way out. There's a lot of pressure on then. And he lined the goal up, although it was a snapshot. Now watch this. I thought Starcevic could have got the free kick. That is a very good kick from goal by the former Norwood player.
Second goal to Craig Kelly, making the difference. 22 points. Collingwood in it if they're good enough. Melbourne again out of the centre through Steve Newport up towards half forward. Standing his ground is Tony Shaw. Looks for Gaither. Well pinned by Bennett. Did he try to play on? I thought he did. The umpire says no.
Oh, fine line.
Michael Gaither at the left half-back flank for Collingwood. The rain has stopped. So too it would appear the Magpies, to all intents and purposes. It was a great goal by Kelly, kicked a few moments ago, but they'll need a lot more. Melbourne, much the better side in this term, as they were in the second, although Collingwood actually outscored them, and you can see by that statistic there, Melbourne getting much more value out of their game in this term. Cloak trying to pick it up, so too a couple of others. Ball finally shuffled out the back of the pack. Johnson leading in the race for the ball. The ball, I'm sure I saw the boundary line a little bit too close. And on centre wing we'll see a throw in. Just over 9 minutes left in this quarter. And you can see the respective kicks in each term so far. Knock away by Steins. Well, Jackson flips it out the back. Tried to find Yates, in turn it's picked up by Graham Wright. Wright going for distance with the kick, tries to find Starcevic, who nearly brought the mark down. Kelly will get the hand pass to Harisalakis if he's quick enough, and he wasn't. Grinter at half-back. The umpire has blown the whistle. The advantage rule is not being played. Grinter will need to bring the ball back pretty quickly.
And Stretch is starting to lift his game now. He's starting to put his body in.
And I think John Northey might have said something to Stephen Stretch at half-time, because if he plays the way he's playing in this quarter, he's an inspiration to Melbourne. Sean White is in trouble. He's injured behind the play. We'll pick him up in a moment as the ball comes down to Spalding. They're into his neck. David Robertson from the centre of the ground. The Magpies could do with another goal now. Here's Brett Lovett and Sean White. Oh, brilliant mark by White as he made a quick recovery and came across the front of the pack. And he's in pretty good form today, White. It's his best place in defence. Sometimes they use him on the forward line. He's gone wide. He's got 2 men to kick it to. Oh, I thought they were going to mess it up. Steins has played a magnificent quarter in the ruck, Don.
My word, he's starting to eclipse Monkhurst, who had it over O'Dwyer.
But he's gone short. Is that in the back to Spalding? No. The umpire called play on. Gavin Brown shuffles it out to Cloak. Cloak a wobbly one to half forward. Punched away by Dersma. Beautiful punch. Straight to Steins. Steins with a long hand pass. David Cloak showing a turn of speed. Loses it to Brian Wilson. Wilson, he's lost it. In turn it goes to Kerrison. A bad hand pass comes to Phoebe. Phoebe taps it on again. Going in after it's Jamie Turner. Turner to Harisalakis. He's dispossessed. Some great tackling then by Melbourne as they go in hard after the ball again. It's a free kick to Collingwood for round the neck. Some ironical cheers from them. Look at that Collingwood man. He's very happy. Well, giving the umpires a decent serve. Terry Hecker is the man bringing it towards half forward. Let's see what the Magpies can do. The ball is with Gavin Brown. Back to Harisalakis. A loose man is out wide in Morwood. Morwood against Dersma, and Morwood takes the mark. Shane Morwood trying very, very hard. He's waiting for someone to make a move into a space. Now, is there a lead? McEwen's making a lead. Now he has to elect to kick long. The players get back. Starcevic is there. It's punched to the ground. A chance for Ronnie McEwen. A quick hand pass out to Robertson. He gets onto the left boot, brings it back in front of goal. He's put it through.
Well, his first goal for the day, David Robertson, but that was set up by Kelly on that occasion. It was Clay Kelly that threw himself into the pack. The ball came to ground. And there's the high kick. Now watch Kelly coming in. He'll throw himself into that pack. Ball to ground. McEwen quickly across to Robertson. And that's what you've got to do if you're playing this game of football. You've got to sacrifice yourself, as Kelly did on that occasion, to the advantage of the team.
Robertson's first goal. Only 16 points the difference now as we get to the business end of the third quarter. 6.5 minutes remaining in play. This is Phoebe from centre half back. Kick up towards Spalding, who can't quite handle it. Wilson tries for the front posse. Healy. Short kick down towards half forward over the head of Christian. Graham Wright will get there first and gets a high tackle. Was it not? Nothing for that, says the umpire. Interesting. Viney goes down likewise. 2 Collingwood players on the deck. It's a Melbourne free kick to Todd Viney.
Darren Bennett was the player coming the opposite way. You could see that. He missed right, but really turned him upside down.
It wasn't a high tackle after all, so well umpired. Todd Viney for his second goal. 8 Melbourne players have so far scored majors. It's not going to add to his tally, except for one behind. So a point to Melbourne, making the difference 17 points, 12-6 to 9-7 in the elimination final.
Collingwood not out of this game.
It looked as though they were, Don, about 10 minutes ago, but they've fought back well. They've got a bit of work to do yet as Christian marks inside the defensive 50. Spalding stands the mark. Christian looks for Michael Gafer, and he's found him. Gafer plays on quickly. A man on his own is Risalakis on centre wing in front of Stretch. Likewise, he's gone short to Turner, who can run with the ball, decides to kick it long instead. Starcevic makes good position and marks. Now, Craig Starcevic has kicked 3 goals. He should get the distance. He kicked one a similar distance out, right on the quarter-time siren. So, handy pair of hands, we could put it that way. 10 kicks and 6 marks so far. Now it's drifted across to the far side, and that's the umpire done here. It's out of bounds on the full, so a bad kick by Starcevic, and Sean White to take the free kick. White goes short. Oh, that's not particularly good play. Krasiska, Shaw. Reminds me of what Graham Allen did at Footscray years ago. I know he won't like me mentioning that, but a similar piece of play when Simon Beasley grabbed it and Footscray won by 3 points.
Actually, it was shocking play under the circumstances to go short in that situation.
So Tony Shaw, who's playing a tremendous captain's game today for his side, a chance to bring up a goal, and he's done it! The Magpies hit back.
Here's this ad again.
Oh, I'll just make us a cuppa.
But Ralph, this is what you should be getting on your money.
Tea or coffee?
But Ralph, that's a lot of interest.
Sugar?
Here, if you was a carpet, that'd be a real worry, wouldn't it? Blooming dog. As if I haven't got enough to worry about. Clumsy clot. Ooh, kids, to worry to life, how you?
No worries, Alf. It's Anso 5 worry-free carpet. Everything just wipes off.
Here, cleans up better than lino, doesn't it?
Anso 5 worry-free with Scotchgard stain release. Beautiful carpets that resist stains like never before.
Oh, I'm not worried. I'm not. But are you sure? Hey!
Can you expect sound as big as this from a TV set? You can. When the TV is this new Panasonic with this revolutionary new dome sound system. You can expect a difference so dramatic that no ordinary TV can capture it for you. With an equally brilliant picture to match from this new flat square tube. And technology that brings you blacker blacks, brighter contrasts, and a crisper 600-line picture. It's like going out to the theatre every time you turn on the television. Even more than you expected.
Autobahn for the best dressed cars in town.
Save $4 on every 5-litre pack of premium grade Valvoline XLD oil. Reduced to a low $10.95 this week only. Win Spitfire Plus. Cleans your car's fuel system whilst you drive. Add a bottle to your fuel tank and watch your car's performance increase while fuel costs decrease. Win Spitfire Plus for just $7.95 now at any Autobahn.
Autobahn.
On Australia's Most Wanted this week, a bizarre story of a macabre murder and a tragic death that happened on the same day and left 2 children orphaned. Our dramatic reenactment could help solve this baffling puzzle. He was a suave, smooth-talking travel agent. He abused the trust of innocent holidaymakers by leaving the country with hundreds of thousands of dollars. You could help catch a criminal. Watch Australia's Most Wanted, 7:30 Sunday.
Have 3.5 minutes of play left before three-quarter time, and what a vital couple of minutes it is. The Demons with the breeze. Cloak, Tony Shaw heads to ground, then taps it out. The Magpies have lifted all of a sudden. Grinter charges his way through. That is great play by Grinter. Grinter from the half-back line kicks wide. Collingwood players in front. This is Kerrison. Overran it. Oh, the pace of Jackson. Can he pick it up? Ricky Jackson, will it bounce for him? He's got it. Kerrison after him. He hasn't got the ball and was grabbed. Umpire calls play on, and eventually it's over the line.
Strong player Shane Kerrison, the way just picked Jackson up and threw him over the boundary line.
It's right in that forward pocket. Bennett taps it over to Healy. Healy shuffles it out. Graham Yates on the left foot, hooks it. Oh, this is close. It could be a goal. It is.
Well, Graham Yates has started on interchange. That's his first goal. Well set up there by Melbourne. It was Bennett who got it over the back to Healy. Then Healy quickly across to Yates. What's this? Good stuff. Quick handball. And Yates another snap. Melbourne have increased their lead.
So Graham Yates' first goal for the Demons coming up in time out of the third quarter. A very valuable one indeed. 9 Melbourne players have now kicked goals, and that was 8 goals kicked for the quarter by the Melbourne side. So it's been an excellent turn for them. Johnson runs at the ball, gets it around McEwen.
And Stein's not too good after that clash in the centre bounce.
Right on centre wing with Yates. Backup support from Tony Shaw, but the boundary line is too close. Actually, it's out on the full. And the free kick will be going. As we watch Jimmy Steins limping around, doesn't look too good.
I wouldn't want to lose him. He's been terrific this quarter, Steins.
So, is there time for another goal? We've got about 2 minutes left in this quarter. Collingwood needs a goal before the siren. Wilson, Gafer. He runs out of space, but ultimately gets it back to Tony Shaw. Over the head of Road, onto Robertson. A looping hand pass up to Graham Wright on the centre wing position. Phoebe giving chase. Johnson underneath the ball. Robes it well, though. Well caught. Well, in fact, almost. Now it comes out to Morwood. Again, from the boundary line. Centering kick. Tries to find Kelly. And the ball slapped out to the boundary line and slapped back in. Johnson had his kick smothered. Cycles it off the ground. It was touched. Past Jackson. Wright should be able to pick it up on centre wing. Time ticking away. Close to three-quarter time. A brilliant steal by Jackson on right centre wing. Now, if the Demons can get a goal here, it will be vital. They're into the breeze in the last quarter. Over the head of Pack. Wilson off the ground. Was it touched? Don't know that it was. It's a goal!
What a miraculous goal that was. Brian Wilson, you can take a bow. But what a good effort by Sean White down the other end of the ground. He disguised that very, very well. He was going for the boundary line, but brought it back between his legs, or somehow he got it back in. And a great chop off there by Ricky Jackson. 2 bounces, not difficult. And it's very difficult to bounce the ball, but watch this by Brian Wilson. Number 7, left foot. I thought Tranter might have got a hand to it, but a good shot.
Those sort of things win games. The difference now, 23 points. Collingwood are going to need a very big last quarter. They will have the breeze, of course. Here it is, centre of the ground. Time clock ticking down. The umpire will bounce. 50 seconds of play left in the third quarter. Collingwood are going to have a decent deficit at three-quarter time. There's Lee Matthews, Ron Richards. They'd be very, very worried men at the moment because Melbourne have played beautiful football in this quarter. Here's Starcevic onto the left foot. They need a goal. The mark has been taken by Sean Watt. I bet he doesn't kick short this time. No, he's got two men calling for the short one. He said, no way. He's going to kick long. And he does exactly that, 55 metres to the centre of the ground. Oh, here's Spalding leading in the race. He's been a very good player, Spalding, as he taps it on. Gafer was caught by Wilson, loses it. Viney is in there to lend a hand. And eventually the ball is forced over the line. 2 seconds of play. There's John Northey. Siren sounds. Great quarter of football by Melbourne. At three-quarter time here at VFL Park. Melbourne lead Collingwood 14-6-90 to the Magpies 10-7-67.
Don't say a word.
That's a lot of interest, Ralph.
No, I'm not interested.
But it's your money, Ralph.
Harvey World Travel, the travel professionals, Harvey World Travel.
If you're 18 to 35, this Contiki special's for you. 5 nights for only $399 at the fabulous Contiki Whitsunday Resort. Includes all meals, water sports and nightly entertainment. So come and enjoy the sun.
'Cause we're Harvey World Travel, the travel professionals for you.
The perfect Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
This week in the Sunday Herald, Richard Hatley rips into Australian cricket. We begin a 4-part guide to personal finance, essential reading.
The perfect Sunday.
And in the Perfect Sunday colour magazine, sensational reprints of sensational art. The first colour picks from the edge of the universe. And the sweetest tarts in town.
The perfect Sunday with the Sunday Herald.
How do you wrap up your beef? How do you roll up a smile? How to give kudos to apple strudels? Pampers as easy as top it, brush it, bake it. Pampers as easy as pie.
Or casserole, or strudel, or tart.
Nobody breaks football stories like 7 Nightly News. With many news awards to his credit, Rob Asprey is renowned for being in the right place when the big football stories break. Rob went to Perth to probe the full extent of the Eagles' financial dilemma. He broke the story that 3 VFL stars being charged by police in Tasmania. Rob was first to reveal St Kilda's plans to dump Darryl Baldock and broke the news to him exclusively. When the major stories break, Rob Asprey is there.
Nobody knows Melbourne like 7.
Final quarter now from VFL Park of the 89 Elimination final. Melbourne, after booting 9-2 to 4 goals, hold a handy 23-point lead going into this term. Collingwood, though, with the breeze. A last-ditch effort by the Magpies. Dacos, who was off the ground in the third quarter, kicks to half forward, only to see Grinter in the road. Shuffles it out to Newport. Shocking kick, and the mark should be taken by Graham Wright. He gets clear of Yates to play on. Long ball up towards full forward. The ball bouncing kindly, though, for Hecker. Picked up by Starcevic. Shocking kick. And Dersma will let it go over the boundary line, I presume on the full.
He might have touched that on the way out.
Just wondering.
Well, the umpire thinks he has, but Dersma...
No, Dersma did touch it, did he?
Actually, McEwen thought it was over the boundary line on the full as well.
And Rob Grinter having plenty to say.
He's telling the goal umpire, why don't you help?
The goal umpire's decision, that too.
Well, they're obviously...
It's nothing to do with the goal umpire.
Well, they're playing a throw-in. Well, it's a throw-in in the pocket anyway.
So it could be costly in the overall wash-up. Now McEwen has it socket away from him by Johnson. Ball out now towards the opposite side of the ground, and it's going to be Yates over the boundary line. We'll see a throw in just outside 50. Now let's see that again. Well, it went out on the full. Didn't look like he touched it. We're a long way from it here. Cloak down to Dacos. Good ruck work by the Collingwood veterans. Ball out in front of the goal now. Grinter will get there first. The umpire has seen a free kick, and it's going to be taken by Stephen Phoebe.
Played a great game, Phoebe.
On to Stephen Stretch. Up to Lovett. I think we could say the same about him. But his opponent out of the match early. Wilson.
He's been a real headache on half forward.
Wilson gives it back to Lovett. 65 metres out from goal. Bennett on a lead marks and well within kicking distance, Darren Bennett.
Great play by Lovett then. He gave the first and received it and gave the second.
9 Melbourne players have scored goals. Bennett is one of them. He has a single to his name so far. He should be able to add to that. Now he's back on the kick slightly, and the goal umpire indicating only one behind.
I think he concentrated then, Peter, because Banks went off the mark and then came up, and he was a little static in his run through. He seemed to stammer on the run up to that ball.
As Peter said, Don, he laid right back on it. That's why he missed it as the kick comes out towards the half-back line. A bit of shepherding going on, and it'll be a Collingwood kick. Ironical cheers, but they shouldn't worry the supporters about the umpiring, because it's their side that has to start playing better. There's Tony Shaw with the one arm tapping it over the back. Starcevic, they need a couple of goals, and quickly the Magpies. It's thumped away by that strong Melbourne defence. Over to Alan Johnson. Johnson cleverly goes round the boundary line, and that is very good, intelligent defensive play from an experienced player. It's on centre wing. And not messing around then, Johnson. 4 goals, so that behind was handy because it's made it 4 goals straight the difference. Steins has worked very, very hard. Quick kick by the Melbourne players, comes round towards Spalding, couldn't quite hold it. That was Lovett who kicked it. Eventually the hand pass comes across there to Tony Shaw. Shaw straightens up and kicks towards half forward. Dersma, the punch away. The loose ball is with Gavin Brown, who's had a terrible day. He goes short. He's looking down there to half forward. The mark is dropped by Starcevic. On it goes to Cloak. Cloak off the side of the boot. Harissa Larkis trying to get back there towards half forward. He's lost it to Sean White, and White takes it over the line.
See, that was a good effort by Sean White, because he started metres behind Harissa Larkis and caught him and really put pressure on him.
A very quick player, Sean White. He's had a pretty good day in defence too. Steins against Cloak. Cloak tries to take it to ground. The player's in hard after it. There's Steins again. He's a clever player to Road. Road around the boundary line again. Valuable minutes ticking away. Krasiska to Banks. A good sidestep by Banks. Oh, smothered that hand pass. Oh, Campbell dives in after. That was good play, Campbell. Over to Greg Healy, the captain. Healy trying to go around the boundary line. And he went again, Healy. And good desperate play by the captain, setting a fine example for Melbourne. There he is, a little champion rover, Greg Healy.
Melbourne has yet to lose an elimination final. Mind you, they've only played in 2 so far, and they keep their record straight. Steins can't quite gather it in. It's over the boundary line again. 20.5 minutes left in this quarter, and therefore the match. Plenty of time for Collingwood to get up if they're good enough. One has to ask that question at the moment. Steins and Cloak. Steins again to Lovett. Short kick up towards the VFL emblem on the outer side. Christian. A short kick by that player. Steins at the back. Morwood. Harissa Larkis has to try to beat 2 of them. Phoebe grabbed when he didn't have it. Spalding grabbed when he did have it. Steins' kick up toward Healy. It bounces kindly for the Melbourne captain. 2 captains there. He kicks it over Tony Shaw's head. Bounces right on 50 for Gafer, who traps the ball nicely underneath Wilson. Farms it out, back to the skipper again. Shaw onto Christian. This is looking better. Krasiska at centre field for Collingwood as the umpire goes down behind play. The crowd likes it. Now, is that a mark of ground?
Play on.
No mark. Sean White touched it first.
Well, he came down with it, let's say that. Gavin Brown. Yes, he did. He's only had 10 possessions so far, and for him, that indeed is somewhat of a dirty day. Banks was the high flyer. Couldn't get the ball clear. Harissa Larkis can. Snapshot going close to Brown. In fact, it's close to a goal and through. Just what Collingwood needed, Don.
Yes, he's a dangerous player, Harissa Larkis, when he does get the ball. He always promises, but just doesn't seem to deliver, and he's not the most accurate kick for goal. Maybe he should always have snapshots. He's had quite a bit of work, especially on that forward line. It was Banks who was up very high. Now there's Harissa Larkis and left the screen. A great snapshot for goal. His first score for the day.
A ray of hope for Collingwood. Official attendance today, 63,062. Melbourne have looked the better side. This is Graham Yates. They wouldn't want to relax for a moment because Collingwood are coming back. There's Spalding attempting to take the mark. Strong work. Brilliant play. Wilson kicks it off the ground. Great play, Wilson. Healy shuffles it out. A chance here for a goal to Melbourne. Kicked by Brett Lovett. No, he's missed.
Played by Healy then.
Well, 11-7 plays 14-8, 3 goals, 1. So that's 19 points now, the difference. A handy behind.
Now, Newport's at full back, and he's picking up Gavin Brown for Collingwood. Interesting move.
Good coaching by John Northey. He's beaten Gavin today. There's Tony Campbell competing hard against Basisca. The pace of Jackson wins out. A hand pass long. He's looking for White. White dodges the tackle. It goes short and wide. Finds Jackson. Collingwood can't afford Melbourne to have a goal here. The short pass is on to Viney. Viney at the 50-metre line. Should kick it quickly. Spalding gets back there. Spalding, eyes on the ball, comes over the top. Punched away by the Collingwood defence out wide to Tony Shaw. Shaw a sidestep, then trips over. He's got it, Tony Shaw, and under pressure, taps it to the line. It'll be a throw-in.
He certainly well under plenty of pressure and nearly got himself caught with the ball. Just couldn't find a teammate out there to get it to. 92-73 in favour of the Demons. They went into this match as underdogs. Good tackle by Dacos. Spalding tries to spin out, nearly caught with the ball. Lovett comes up with it. And the umpire said a stalemate. Dacos having plenty to say, likewise Tony Shaw.
Correct decision.
A good decision.
If they're consistent, they had to pay that. Holding it to him.
Snapshot by Lovett. Not quite there. Only McEwen. Literally in the last line of defence. McEwen hoping the member stand side with a pretty good sort of a kick too. Cloak takes the mark in front of Stephen Stretch. Gives it out to Graham Wright. Plenty of run up towards centre field. Long kick by the Tasmanian down towards the half-forward line. No mark played. Arisalakis, who kicked Collingwood's last goal. Awkward looking left foot kick. And that's a fine mark taken by Gavin Brown.
Well, now Collingwood playing all their fellows up the ground, a little similar to Melbourne. The full forward, as you can see there, Gavin Brown, got a heavy knock on the side of the head. He's able to lead into space with confidence, knowing he is not going to receive any opposition.
Third mark to Gavin Brown today. Interstate representative this year, 45 metres out, directly in front. A valuable goal for the Magpies. They're still in the hunt.
She's Agatha Christie's little old lady with a mind like a steel trap. Miss Marple's back in 7's Saturday night mystery movie, racing against time and the best brain in Scotland Yard to solve a murder. Was it the victim's sister, the local vicar, or the Colonel's wife? See if you can crack the case quicker than Miss Marple when 7 presents one of Agatha Christie's most famous mysteries, Murder at the Vicarage, tonight at 8:30.
If you're in business, you want advertising that works. Melbourne Big survey phones are monitoring results in businesses like IPEC Air Services, who say Melbourne Big represents a substantial part of all incoming calls. Kevin Chapman says Melbourne Big is doing a better job at a lower price, and his results prove it. The 1989 results are better than ever for Don Pittard's driving school. Display advertising really works. Make sure that Melbourne Big works for your business. Phone right now on 6464
Another reason for stopping at 7-Eleven.
Coke is even better when it's a bargain. 2-litre bottles of Coke and Diet Coke. Only $1.79 each. At 7-Eleven, Coke is it. Another reason for stopping at 7-Eleven.
JFK falafel. JFK Fabulous Falafel is versatile. It can be grilled, barbecued, fried or microwaved. JFK Fabulous Falafel is low in kilojoules, low in fat, high in energy, high in protein, but low in cholesterol, making it the perfect food. JFK Falafel, a new taste, a great taste for everybody.
Painting a vase of flowers isn't all that difficult, but some do it considerably better than others. It's the same with insurance companies. MMI Insurance. When you appreciate quality, you'll appreciate the difference.
If you've ever been overcooked, underarmed or greased and oiled,
You got to bring stains clean before you machine.
Now that's brain clean.
Before you machine.
A sensitive stomach finds some foods hard to digest. But you can replenish the body's natural digestive cultures with Revital, the milk for people who find some foods hard to stomach.
The legends are coming.
Why can't you be true? Let me hear you say yeah!
What a concert. Once more with feeling. The Legends of Rock and Roll. Proudly sponsored by the new Toyota Lexan V6.
Once more with feeling! Ow!
13 points the difference. David Cloak gets set to contest with Jim Steins. Newport shovels it out the back. And by forwards, work it forward, up towards Starcevic again. Well, he doesn't take the mark this time, so there's no real question of playing on. That's exactly the same spot where he tried that before too.
Now the interesting thing is now Sean White's picking up Gavin Brown. Newport going up the ground further. Now he has kept Brown quiet. Now it's Wright's job.
Ball kick further forward. One behind. That might have been by, was it Banks? Yes.
Handy one though, Pete.
2 goals the difference. Plenty of time for them, Peter. 14 minutes left in this game.
I'll say, and they got the win.
So did Melbourne exhaust themselves in the third quarter. Tremendous quarter of football by them. Morwood, Jackson suckers the ball clear. It's out of bounds though. Boundary umpire looks at the field umpire, who tells him to throw it in. Right in front of the Collingwood cheer squad on the outer side. Once again, Cloak and Steins. Won by Steins, not very far. Snapped up by Morwood. Rusalakis late on the scene. Johnson safe in defence. And Johnson at the half-back flank. Second game back after a knee injury against Carlton. Kick to kick. It's David Cloak on right centre wing. The veteran. Will he get 300 games? Robertson, the speedster, just off the edge of the square. A booming punt kick with the breeze. Lets the wind do the damage for him. Dersma almost. Hecker went through. Couldn't take the ball. Melbourne defence standing firm again. Rhodes kick almost marked by Yates. Not paid it. Well, I didn't think he got it. Neither did they, obviously.
50 metres.
50-metre penalty.
No, a holding decision on Spalding against Christian about 40 metres down the ground.
Yeah, well, as good as a 50-metre penalty.
Can't afford that.
Not at this stage of the game. Spalding from right half-back flank virtually to right half forward. Off the hands of Francisca. Picking it up as Viney. The hand pass to Stephen Stretch on the run. His shot at goal is off target. Misses to the near side and one behind. And it's a handy one too because it makes the difference. 13 points.
And importantly for Melbourne, there's a young, looks like Ginger Meggs there. A young Melbourne supporter. But a handy one, as you said, Pete, because that makes it 13 points, and it is up in the Melbourne forward zone, which is important for them. McEwen, a beautiful kick to half-back. Steins appealing for a free kick. Got to play the whistle. Oh, Melbourne players got in each other's way. Johnson was one of them. Went in after it again. So did Robertson. And this will be a bounce almost on centre wing.
At least they're showing they're going for the ball. Both had eyes for the ball and they both upset one another. It's better than what they were doing earlier.
Dead right, Don. Earlier they were trying to bump the man instead of charging at the ball. There was a bump, a heavy one on Cloak. This is Graham Yates tapping it. Oh, he went the bump in Stretch instead of grabbing Robertson. Robertson caught. Handball balls to Dacos. Dacos to half forward. The players go back after it. Road in hard after it. We see Starcevic. Oh, that was great play, Dersma. That was magnificent play, Dersma, to smother that ball. Great play also by Cloak. Over to Dacos. Dacos short, and he's found young Hecker at half forward. The advantage is played to Banks. Banks trying to run away with the ball. Hooks it back in front of the goal. Beautifully smothered down there by Newport, and Sean White will take it to the line. Hooks it back. Will it go out? Yes, eventually. No, it's not, the boundary said, and eventually Road takes it over the line for a throw-in.
What a great hand pass by Wright along the boundary line.
Plenty left in this match yet. 11 and a quarter minutes. 13 points the difference. Collingwood's attacking zone, and Dacos. Snapshot won't quite make it, but that's a mark. Directly in front to Gavin Brown, who has had a quiet day. He's been moved to full forward. He's kicked 1 goal so far. One of 9 Collingwood players to kick goals. Melbourne has the same tally, so 18 players on the ground have scored majors. Brown for his second, keeping Collingwood in the game. No. Well, they've got the behind they needed. Now they need the 2 goals.
Well, actually, Gavin Brown, not the most accurate kick for goal. This year, he has kicked 10 goals, or be coming into this game, 10 goals, 26.
Not a good conversion rate, Don. As Johnson kicks in and goes to the outer side. Gee, will that be touched before it goes over? I don't know. We'll have to wait on the boundary.
Yes, it was.
It was pretty close. Stretch just got a hand to it, and he had to stretch. Steins and Cloak. Cloak with good use of the body, jogging for front position. Knocked away by Phoebe. Stephen Stretch again. Not on the Foster's emblem outer side. Wilson in front, knocked away by Gaper. Tony Shaw, the 2 captains again. Healy, but it will be Stretch to pick it up.
Stretch, oh, beautiful sidestep. He really has a lot of talent, Stretch. He brings it to half forward. At the back was Pasiska with a big punch. It might favour Melbourne, though. The kick off the ground comes straight to Phoebe, who's been a great player all day. Phoebe to half forward. Danger for Collingwood. Spalding tries to tap it back over his head. The pace of Jackson. Over to Viney. Viney cleverly handballs back. Here's a chance for Tony Campbell. He's gone short. Oh, great play by Melbourne to Bennett, and Bennett will make the distance, I would think.
Gee, that was a good pass by Campbell, because he really summed up the situation. That was a pressurised situation, and he summed it up beautifully, and a great pass and good lead.
Probably the most vital kick of the game, this. If he kicks this, it'll be very difficult for Collingwood. He's 45 metres out. He's a long kick. He's a booming drop punt. It's coming back. I think it's a goal. It is.
Well, he has had a quiet day, Darren Bennett. But if he does get the ball, especially inside 50, he's always a chance to kick it. He'll definitely make the distance. The only problem would be accuracy. And that was a good kick. It was a good passage of play. That's his second goal. 2 goals, 1 for the day. There's Campbell, and a great lead.
How bad was that miss by Gavin Brown after all that?
Bennett's goal making the difference now, 18 points. That might be just a little bit too much. Johnson, short of the right centre wing for the Melbourne side. We'll find Tony Campbell with the kick, a clever tap on to get it away from Kerrison. Jackson, always dangerous close to goal, and the short pass is a ripper. Melbourne looking the goods at the end of the game now. Viney, another short pass from him. Bennett on the lead and takes his second mark inside a minute.
The difference between these 2 sides is that Melbourne disposed of the ball better than what Collingwood. Collingwood have not had a passage in the day where they've disposed of the ball like that. Melbourne have done it on countless occasions.
So Darren Bennett, after a quiet day really, has a chance to sum up the game. He should get the distance. He's a long kick. And that, I would say, is just about the elimination final.
Thought any more about the new car?
Nah. No, I think I'll hold out for a Rolls-Royce. Have a look at the price of this.
David, what have I been telling you?
Yeah, true.
Well?
Well, what?
The car.
Well, it's got to be big enough.
And safe, and reliable, and economical, I know. We're talking about the new Holden Apollo, right?
Even these are big Beckies now.
David?
Yeah, well, I did go and look at it. 2 litre, twin cam, heaps of room.
And it's a Holden. Dave, you know you'd love a Holden.
Yeah, right on the money.
You can't eat like this every day. And on my salary, who can afford it? McCain, budget gourmet dinners are the go. Ripper meals without the rip-off price. Ah, McCain, you've done it again.
what has an enormous screen, a digitally enhanced picture with natural color, and a surround sound system featuring 6 powerful speakers. It's the Philips Super Screen with teletext. It makes watching TV a giant experience.
Another reason for stopping at 7-Eleven. Coke is even better when it's a bargain. 2-litre bottles of Coke and Diet Coke. Only $1.79 each. At 7-Eleven, Coke is it. Another reason for stopping at 7-Eleven.
Autobahn for the best dressed cars in town.
From the Eagle One range, mag cleaner that cleans and shines your wheels without scratching. Spray on, hose off. It's that simple. Now only $7.95. Top Cat, the new ozone-safe spray paint. Quite simply the best and easy to use. From the large range of colours available, choose the right paint for the right application. Priced from $6.95, now at any Autobahn.
Autobahn.
Honest teddy bear biscuits taste better than anything in the whole world.
3 goals to Darren Bennett, 4 goals the difference in the elimination final, just over 8 minutes to go.
Spalding has been magnificent all day. They've had a lot of good players, Melbourne. The tack on comes to Starcevic. Here's a chance for the Magpies. Oh, good tackling on Harisalakis. Back to Starcevic from 40 metres. He tries to hook it back, but is offline and puts it through for a behind wing. Goals are badly needed. We have 7 minutes and 38 seconds of play left in this match, and it looks bad for Lee Matthews up there and the side. Another disappointment maybe for Collingwood supporters, as we see Johnson out to Stretch. Stretch since half-time's been a much better player. Stretch to the boundary line. Campbell has battled hard. He's beaten for this one, though, by Gavin Krasiska. Krasiska sensibly gets on with the game. Short pass to David Cloak. I wonder if he'll play next year to try to get his 300. Long kick to half-forward. Punched away from Banks. Jamie Dersma had a great battle with Starcevic. Over to Phoebe, one of the best men on the ground, this man. The young Tasmanian goes straight up the ground towards half-forward. Christian taps the ball wide. He's got support out there by Gavin Krasiska. Oh, he's lost it, Krasiska. Good. Oh, well, a little bit lucky. A little bit lucky. The free kick was good play, actually, by Healy, and the free kick will go to Krasiska at half-back.
Gavin Krasiska, left half-back flank, one of Collingwood's 9 goal kickers today. Pretty dark out this way. Tony Shaw on to David Cloak again at centre field. Cloak looks for the hand pass to the running Robertson. Robertson, long way from goal, won't score with that kick because Sean White's in the goal square, marking unopposed. And brings the play wide to the member stand flank. Steve Newport won't really be too concerned if it goes over the boundary line.
Quite happy to see it over, Pete.
He didn't make too much of an effort to pick it up, and you could understand why if you looked at the scoreboard. It shows that Melbourne should be set for a berth in the first semi-final next week. Hard to see them being beaten from here.
That'll help their cause as well. Stein's punching the ball over the boundary line.
Just over 6 minutes play remaining in this, and you can see the kicks there in the respective quarters.
The crowd's moving out, Pete.
That's usually an indication. Lovett's kick hugs the boundary line again. So the Demons working the ball manfully out of defence, but not really worrying too much about keeping it in play. And one would presume that most of those folk are Collingwood supporters, pretty disappointed with the way things have turned out here this afternoon. Yates now at the right half-back flank, hooks the ball towards centre wing. Oh, strong mark by Spalding.
He only had eyes for the ball.
Oh, he's a great player, this man.
He started on the bench, and that's the question we couldn't find an answer for. I dare say John Northey will give us one later.
No, he didn't. No, he started. He started.
McEwen at half-back. Well, he's played a pretty good game, Peter. An excellent game, in fact. This is Gafer. Down to half-forward. That might be a push-out against Peter Dacos. In fact, it will be. It'll be taken by Lovett. He's been another good player for Melbourne.
Well, he took Dacos right out of the game after quarter time.
From centre half-back, he's gone direct. Alan Johnson marking unopposed in front of Morwood. Johnson coming into some good form now. That'll be good news for Melbourne. And as Peter McKenna said, Stephen Phoebe, one of Melbourne's better players. A short pass, he tries to find Bennett, got underneath the ball a bit, and that will roll through for one behind.
No, free kick to Bennett.
Now, Bennett's kicked 3 goals so far.
Well, Darren Bennett has kicked 3, and he's got a free kick from 30 metres directly in front. It is a great kick. What do you think? Not much in that, Don.
Tiggy Touchwood.
Very lucky free kick to Bennett. But I don't think it'll make any difference to the game, because with 4.5 minutes of play left, Melbourne have this game well in their keeping. Can Darren Bennett kick his 4th? He lays back again, slams a goal. Is it through? Yes, another one to the Demons.
Well, Melbourne can do no wrong. It's late in the game and they're starting to draw away, and that quiet Darren Bennett, his 3rd goal for the quarter, he's finished with 4, or could finish the game with 4. He was a very quiet player early on. Maybe the fact that McEwen put his hand on his shoulder was the reason the umpire gave that free.
Great performance this by Melbourne. They have been far the better side after the first quarter. Smothered. Look at the desperation of Melbourne. Campbell has been desperate all day. Campbell. Ricky Jackson with his pace has made a difference since he came on the ground too. Graham Yates too has done well as he kicks it forward. There's Viney. He's another one who's picked up his game after a slow start. Graham Wright has gone short. Cloak. I asked the question, will he play next year? He's getting close to 300. There is Graham Wright. Young Tasmanian bring it to half forward. The Melbourne defence has got right on top of that Collingwood forward line. In desperation, Lee Matthews put Gavin Brown down to full forward in this quarter. Brown, that miss from 15 metres could easily have cost them the game, because Melbourne raced it up the other end and in turn scored a vital goal.
Your supporters will be saying, well, should we have played Brian Taylor? It's all history now. Taylor, Cloak knocks it down. Newport, shot was it clear? There is a free kick paid. As rain starts to fall again, it'll be taken by Dennis Banks. Banks about 50 metres from goal. About a 50-degree angle. Runs out, brings the ball back, and indeed has put it through for a goal. A good goal to Banks.
Well, would you believe it? That is his 100th goal in VFL football, Dennis Banks. And we posed the question about David Cloak. Could this be his last year, Dennis Banks? And maybe that's his last kick in VFL football, and he's finished it off very nicely if it is. That's his 100th goal. He started at full back, creditable down there, and now playing on the forward line.
10 Collingwood players have scored goals, 17-9 to 13-10 in favour of the Demons. Pretty sorry sight out there with the rain coming down. Melbourne just going through the motions now. Hecker, well tackled by Rode. The ball spills free and picked up for the Demons by Phoebe. His kick out towards the right half forward flank. Campbell looks for the long hand pass. It's effective to the running Spalding right on 50. A great game from him again this afternoon. Up towards full forward. The mark almost taken down there for the Demons by Biney, but it dribbles out of bounds. We'll see a throw in about 5 metres from the behind post.
Well, they've had a lot of good players today, Melbourne. They have teamed beautifully. Collingwood have left it to too few. A lot of their stars have been right down today, and that's due to the good play of Melbourne. There's Jackson with a quick kick. Mark has been taken by Ronnie McEwen. Gives a hand pass out to the youngster in Tranter. Tranter coming around the half-back area on the left foot. He's looking there for Krasiska. Oh, he's dropped it off his chest, but the ball's slippery now with the rain falling. Krasiska to centre wing. Starcevic has dropped it. That allows his opponent, Dersma, who has a touch of the fumbles. And that's been a great contest down there, because Starcevic has kicked 3, but Dersma has done a lot of good things, Don.
My word, in actual fact, Starcevic has kicked 3 goals, 5. So he could have been a match winner had he have kicked straighter.
David Cloak gets the front position. Doesn't get the hit out, though. It's real wet weather football now as Wright goes short and off the ground. Ball slapped back to Dersma, who goes for the boundary line and to Grinter. He finds the boundary line too wide for Grinter. There's a couple of things to say. 1.5 minutes left of this match, and it will be a victory to Melbourne with a pretty handy lead on the scoreboard. They'll be in the first semi-final next week, and deservedly so. Harisavakis and Grinter, neither can get there before the ball hits the boundary line.
They're a tenacious side, Melbourne, Pete. They never give up, and when they're in adversity, that's when they're at their best.
Yes, after a slow start here today against the breeze, they've done well. Dersmer's kick up towards the centre wing position. The ball bounces over the line in front of Michael Gafer. So John Northey will be particularly pleased. Gary Lyon, will he be back next week? Would certainly strengthen this lineup no end. Cloak hooks it over the top to Peter Rode. Rode's kick is very high, only travels about 30 metres. A nice diving mark has been taken by Gavin Krasisko right on the boundary line. With only a few seconds to go.
Well, Collingwood have left too much to too few today, and they've been outplayed by a very fiercely determined Melbourne side. And there's the man who sets them rolling at the bounces. Steins to Healy, to Dersmer, to Grinter, and Grinter's been an excellent player for Melbourne too. Grinter, beautiful pass to Spalding. Spalding's been outstanding. This is Graham Wright. Eventually it'll go to the line, and Wilson quite happy to see it to the line as the time clock ticks away. Siren about to go. Great performance, Melbourne. As we see David Cloak. There it is.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1989 Premiership season.
Against most predictions, Melbourne got up to win by kicking those 9 goals in the third quarter. It was an even last term, and they ran out winners by 23 points. For Melbourne, their leading goal kickers, Bennett 4 and Wilson 3, and for Collingwood, Starcevich kicked 3 goals. Shane Kerrison was reported by a boundary umpire and an emergency umpire for striking Stephen Newport. Not the first time that he's gone.
By over 10 goals or more. It's a cutthroat one today as they burst through the banner to do battle in these very windy conditions